Okay, so after episode 2, I got a lot of requests to check in on the Portland Trail Blazers, so let's do that. The team after this move obviously got better, but there is a lack of depth that they have had to make up for, and their solution to that was signing Alonzo Trier, which honestly, if you're looking for a CJ replacement for very cheap, Trier is basically a poor man's CJ McCollum, so it's not a horrible replacement, and statistically he has been pretty solid. And they also brought in a random rookie who I assume is auto-generated, who is averaging 14 on good efficiency. Also, both Nazir Little and Daniel Theis are big parts of the rotation, and Carmelo Anthony is the starting power forward, though he has been injured for most of the year, including in the game you're going to see later on. As for Embiid, he has been pretty much the same statistically, but Damian Lillard, with the benefit of the best help of his career, is going off, averaging 35 and 10. Through 17 games, they are 12 and 5, which gives them the 4th best record in the NBA. As for us, well, we are 11 and 6, sitting as the 3rd seed behind the Bucks and Raptors. Statistically, despite my struggle with being efficient with him in games that y'all are going to see in this game, CJ is averaging a solid 20. Ben Simmons is averaging a near triple-double as I kind of expected, but he's also shooting 65% from the field and getting over 1 block and steal a game, almost 2 steals per game. He's also averaging a crazy 14.5 rebounds a game, which is 3rd best in the league, and he has the best assist-to-turnover ratio of his career by a mile. What I do find interesting is that Simmons is averaging 3.6 more points per game than last year on just 0.1 more shot attempts per game, which I think is a great reflection of the effectiveness of this team around Ben. However, our offense overall is not performing nearly as well as I'd like. We are actually the 3rd worst offense in the league right now. Part of the reason for that is the poor offense from the bench unit. Both Josh Richardson and Gary Trent are playing like shit this year. And with no playmaking in the second unit, we really rely on CJ and Holiday to carry those lineups when Simmons is on the bench. There are a couple of solutions to this that I can think of that we will explore. One is Simmons being more aggressive. While I'm glad he is thriving shooting the ball 11 times a game, I want him to thrive shooting it like 15 times a game, even if his efficiency does drop. Another idea is bringing Tobias Harris off of the bench. Toby in the starting lineup really doesn't get a lot of shots. When he does, it's when him and CJ run the second unit. I could also trade one of Josh or Trent for a better shot creator. I've seen people suggest a Richardson for Buddy Hield trade. However, I don't want to commit that much money for a 6th man on top of the money issue we already have. As of right now, I'm going to stick with turning Ben's shot tendency up and hoping Trent and Richardson bounce back, but it's an issue that I'm going to be monitoring. But to end on a positive note, we are by far and away the best defense in the NBA, averaging 3.8 less points allowed per game than any other team, and that's with normalized minutes on. So we are killing it there, but that's where we stand at the moment. Defense is great, but also lots of room to improve offensively. There are a lot of positive signs, but also a lot of things to keep an eye on. But with that out of the way, let's head into our game versus Joel Embiid and the Portland Trail Blazers. Heading into this Blazers game, as you can tell, we have Aaron Baines in the starting lineup so that he can match up with Joel Embiid. As I said, that was the reason I signed Baines. Alonzo Trier with the mid-range pull-up right out of the gate. I wanted a big who could handle elite bigs like Joel Embiid when we matched up with them. Not that Ben Simmons necessarily can't, but I'd like him to conserve his energy more for offense when he can, and he gets the putback dunk right there for some evidence of that. CJ with the wide open corner 3 green release, one of the few green releases I ever get with him. He's kind of a bitch to score with in this game. And right there, Ben getting by Joel Embiid pretty easily for the dunk. My issue with scoring with CJ is I found that in the pick and roll was where CJ scores a lot from the mid-range, bigs often never drop, pretty much never drop, even when they're bigs who typically do drop. Ben Simmons with the poster dunk on Daniel Theis right there, and I don't know what issue Ben has with Daniel Theis, but he's going to do it again right here as he gets by Nazir Little and just yams it on him. But unfortunately, in this year's 2K, the bigs come up on the screen every time, and then when there's a switch, you can't even get by them with the guards, and that's not from incompetence. But 1 second, Gary Trent, trail man, green release, buzzer beater. Just gotta take a second for that. Good lead early on versus the Blazers, but Joel Embiid gets his 3-pointer right here. And because the bigs aren't dropping, there's almost never room for a mid-range shot for CJ. Nice timing that happened there, but unfortunately, it's making it very hard to score with him because CJ gets a lot of his points in the pick and roll as a mid-range shooter, and dunk all over Joel Embiid right there by Ben Simmons. So I'm really struggling to score with him, unfortunately. Embiid gets them right back there with a layup. and then unfortunately does not get back on defense, and Ben Simmons dunks on Joel Embiid once more. So this revenge game between these two is starting to heat up a little bit, but Embiid gets a dunk right back. But CJ trying to get space with the fadeaway, or the spin jump shot, I should say. Damian Lillard with a three-pointer at the top of the key. I'm telling you, Jrue Holiday tried his best in this game, and he could not stop Dame whatsoever. Another issue I'm having, as I'm showing you CJ's horrible stats in this game, it really feels like you're more open on the perimeter than you are. Like, your man will be sagging off, and then suddenly you get like a 25% contested three-pointer. Easy dunk right there for Ben Simmons. You can't put a little guy on him. And unfortunately, I just keep falling for it, and CJ and his stats are suffering for it. But that is one of the nicer alley-oops that I have ever gotten. And once more, Ben Simmons dunks all over Daniel Theis. I might have to turn down Ben's dunk tendency and dunk ability, because it's truly ridiculous, because I'm getting like 5 posters a game. Oh yeah, deja vu right there. Green release once more, this time for Jrue Holiday as the trail man on the fast break on the buzzer beater. Daniel Theis in the corner with the three-pointer. We have our bench lineup in the game now. Milton gets past Dame and gets this layup with a decent contest on it, which I was surprised he made that. But our starters are back in now. That's pretty much all the bench did. And Ben Simmons with the poster dunk once more just gets a couple of those a game. And then with Rodney Hood on him, that's too easy. He just gets the windmill dunk right there. Really showing off at this point. CJ finally able to create something out of the pick and roll, because once again, that time Nazir Little came up too high on the screen and he's able to get by him. But I'd like to be able to use CJ as CJ actually plays, and not CJ exploiting 2K's stupid bullshit. But with Alonzo Trier on Ben Simmons, you gotta know that's easy points if you're not gonna bring help. And honestly, I wish the CPU was smarter and did bring help. But that gives us a 3-point lead now against the Blazers. Joel Embiid taking a very stupid shot, and then Ben Simmons with the rebound, pushing it on the break, as I said I want him to do, and CJ gets the open jump shot. Even though he's been struggling all game, he is able to help close. However, Damian Lillard with the pull-up mid-range shot out of the pick and roll. Not mid-range shot, 3-point shot, my bad. But Ben Simmons gets by Joel Embiid and Nazir Little, 2 very good defensive players, and manages to put the layup in. With a 4-point lead now, looking to close this one out. Ben Simmons, once again with a little guy on him. You have to bring help here, and they just don't. And that's another poster dunk for Ben Simmons. Truly absurd. Alonzo Trier manages to get space for this 3-point shot. I also changed Gary Trent's release to Trier's release after this game, and then I threw a very stupid turnover. I completely forgot I did that, and I just got reminded of it. But luckily, the Blazers take a very stupid shot to make up for it. Fade away for Joel Embiid is not the best shot in the world, especially when he needed a 3-pointer. Unfortunately, though, Ben Simmons kind of chokes at the free throw line. However, he does manage to get one of them to go, which I guess is kind of all you need, unless you maybe make a mistake like I do later on, but don't worry about that. Once more, Ben Simmons gets fouled. I was trying to get it to CJ, but it ended up in Ben Simmons' hands. This time, he makes both of the free throws. By the way, look at those stats: 41 points and 29 rebounds. Rodney Hood with the 3-pointer. And you'd think, oh, well, I'll just secure this one. But no, I made another stupid mistake. Then a blocking foul on Ben Simmons. And off of the inbound, they get a decent look for Damian Lillard, but Jrue Holiday gets a decent enough contest. And we end up walking away with this one, really almost blowing it twice. But very good game for Ben Simmons and CJ. Let's just pretend that didn't happen. We'll see some more changes in the next episode. But that is the end of this video. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more MyGM content like this. And cue the outro music.